I'm telling you, this hat and jumper combo is doing a lot for the channel lately. Hi, welcome back. Just a quick video today to talk about a very exciting opportunity that I've recently had. As the title says, myself and 3 other acts were invited to write and perform a song in Paul McCartney's childhood home. In honour of Paul McCartney's 80th birthday, the National Trust were running the Forthlin sessions, which is the eventual performance of these songs on the 17th of June to be broadcast on the 18th of June, which is Paul's birthday. So they put out a call for unsigned acts to apply, and the successful applicants would get invited for a day in the house to have a tour and just sit around and write music, as well as meeting Paul's brother Mike, who was on the jury for selection, which is even more wild to think that he was one of the people that chose me to take part in this. So yeah, these Forthlin sessions comprise of 2 days. The first day, which we recently had, visiting the house, having the tour, meeting Mike McCartney and writing music. And then the second day is when we go back to perform what we've written. So again, I was one of 4 successful applicants. There was myself, Serena Itu, Emily Theodora, and the folk duo Hum. So again, we've recently had the first day with the house. We left the hotel at around 7 to get there for 7:30. I had to go in a separate taxi to the others because for me the first thing I had was an interview with BBC Wales.
So just explain to our listeners about this incredible opportunity you have and what you're going to be doing, why you're there.
Yeah, so today myself and a few other incredible musicians have been so kindly invited by the National Trust to come and write a song about this house and the kind of aura surrounding it in honour of Paul's 80th birthday this year. And yeah, so we're going to be spending the day here just kind of looking around, soaking it in, seeing just seeing what we can draw inspiration from, and meeting Mike a bit later on.
No pressure then, Dullan.
Yeah, none at all.
And there were photographers and videographers on hand as well, so as I entered the house, just before I entered, there were various shots of me walking in, and I had a little interview outside, as well as other little staged moments like me walking around the house, pressing a piano key and that sort of thing. So we each had interviews outside the house, reactions of walking around the house and whatnot, and then we had a tour of the house in which we learned a lot about Mike and Paul's childhoods, and all the various stories that came with the house in each of the various rooms, all the nooks and crannies. So the main theme of these Forthlin sessions is music coming back to 20 Forthlin Road, because they moved out in the mid-60s because fans were coming to the house and disturbing them throughout the night. So obviously when the Beatles took off, Paul could afford a bigger house for Jim to live in, and so there's been no music in that house since Paul left. And what's incredible about that house is that in all of the rooms there's pictures on the walls taken by Mike McCartney, as he had an interest in photography growing up. So he would take many famous candid shots of Paul and John, and they're all hung up where those pictures took place. So there's a great picture of Paul and John writing "I saw her standing there," like just above exactly where it happened. It's a really incredible experience to visit the house because it's all of the period. It's not been preserved necessarily since then because it's gone through so many eras before it was actually sold to the National Trust in the 90s. It's all a recreation of what it was like in the 50s and 60s. There's so many antiques, books, instruments and whatnot, but it still feels so authentic and lived in. And I feel like I got to know the house quite well after spending an 11-hour day there. I won't be able to share too much because of the photos hanging around the house. They're actually copyrighted by Mike McCartney, so he wouldn't want them reproduced or anything. So after the tour we had a lot of media, someone from the Telegraph was there, the other musicians had their local radio interviews, and then we met the man himself, Mike McCartney. We spent a good chunk of the afternoon with him. He had various interviews. A crowd had in fact gathered outside the house, and I wasn't sure if that was because of that's what it's normally like, or if they'd caught wind that Mike was perhaps there, or maybe they thought Paul was there as well. The news then also went public about the Forthlin session, so I don't know if anyone had come to the house after hearing about that and wanted to see what was going on, but either way it was pretty fun. So after spending a bit more time with Mike, a bit more hanging around, Mike had a couple of interviews done from the living room, one in which also involved Hum, and they also gave an impromptu performance in front of Mike, so absolutely no pressure there. We then had the rest of the afternoon to just spend some time in the individual rooms to just write music, come up with ideas, literally just quiet time alone in these rooms. Again, it was just the most incredible, surreal day. It was so amazing to meet the others as well. We all got on super well. It was just a nice, wholesome group. And again, we go back on the 17th of June to perform these, and that will be broadcast on the 18th of June, I believe. I think on YouTube, but yeah, again, just keep up to date with my social medias. I'll probably post it on the community tab. I'll keep you updated with any more details. And yeah, just what a exciting, unique opportunity. I found out just a number of days before I actually went, and it's just completely turned things upside down for me. This was so widely reported as well. It's in so many outlets. It's so weird to be in all these news articles. Thank you all so much for watching. Just a quick one today. I haven't been on it as much with YouTube as I have been my other social media, so I appreciate your patience. And thank you all so much for your support on the Weezer video. That was my first video to surpass 1,000 views, which is incredible. We reached over 100 subscribers, so welcome in. I'm so happy to have you all here. It's been pretty hectic, so I haven't really had much of a chance to sit down and properly work on YouTube videos, but I will be posting here and there, so do keep an eye out. I've just had my first ever single release last month, and we recently hit 1,000 streams on that, so again, thank you so much. I have much more music coming out this year, so stay tuned for that. And again, I'm much more active on my other social media, so feel free to get in touch there, and thank you so much for watching. There was one Welsh language article, and a literal translation of the headline to English is "Wrexham man wants to perform in Beatles front room," and it sounds like I'm trying to break in or something.